Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Thank you for joining my channel. I've been having this conversation with some of my direct students and some students outside of the direct cohort. And the conversation about is how do I do this X in my career, or how do I start this side hustle? And what I found is the biggest thing that's holding them back from doing that isn't their boss. It isn't that it costs too much. It's not even that it's difficult. It is the mindset that goes into it that's holding them back. Every conversation I have with them, when you dive deep into it, it is the mindset. And the thing you might know is, and this is a stats from the American Psychological Association. It is 70% of people experience self doubt in anything they want to do, that limiting belief. So what you find is limiting belief is a narrative, it's an internal narrative that's saying that I am not good enough. That's what it is. I don't deserve this. I am not good enough. I don't deserve this opportunity. And this quiet thing, this quiet sabotage of your progress is really like driving you to say, oh, I can't do this. So you have to start figuring out, how do you rewrite this narrative? How do you take the time to think through, how do I rewrite this narrative? How do I break free of this narrative? Because it is just a narrative. Most of the conversation I'm having, people have the means, they're really smart, they can do this. So it's just a mindset. How do I do this? So the thing you have to do is recognize that this thing is going on. Like most other things. Just recognize that this is a limited belief. Somewhere along the line in your life, I've been there, and I had to do the same thing. Like somewhere along the line, this is a limiting belief. You developed it somehow, some scarcity mindset from your background. That's normal, right? Not all of us are born rich with the best family environment to teach us these things. So we have these limiting beliefs. So the thing you have to do is to recognize that you have that belief, and then ask yourself, how do I rewrite this narrative? What does it make sense? Why do you need to do that? Because by start naming this limiting belief, you can then start figuring out what are the steps that I need to replace what I'm thinking about it with other things. So how do you do that? What I would start saying is, write down a limiting belief that basically holding you back. For example, I'm not ready to do this. I'm not ready to buy this thing. I'm not ready to lead in my career. I'm not ready to do this. Just write it down. And then start asking yourself, is this real? Is this factual? What am I afraid of here? Basic. So just start doing those things. And then start thinking about, how do I reframe this basically? And just start thinking about it pretty simply. You could just easily say, I am building skills that will lead to me being successful, as opposed to I am going to buy a laundromat or something, right? Or I'm going to apply for this crazy job, basically, or I'm going to make $1 million. Just simplify it and just say, I'm just building skills that will help me be successful in the future. So that way, it's not something that you need to do right now that's putting pressure on you to do it now. And then there's something I learned from just over the years, just doing things, and I wish I knew this when I was younger. Just start visualizing what success looks like for you. Visualizing is a very powerful tool. Again, you have to visualize and then you have to act on it, right? So don't just visualize and don't act on it at some point. But visualizing is a very powerful tool. Visualize what success looks for you, because success for some people might be leading a big tech company, but success for some people might just be buying a few vending machines and running them, or just get a comfortable, nice job that they have and they like it and they can get promoted. So whatever that looks like for you, just basically start visualizing what success looks like for you. And by the way, success can be in different stages. You can say what success looked like for you for the next 6 months. And then So to start small, what does success looks like for me a month from now? So equally, I remember when I first decided that I was going to run the half marathon. My goal was just to probably run 3 miles. That was what success looked like for me in the first couple of months. So just think about it that way. What does success looks like for you? And you can break that down in short term and long term goals. So yes, I'm going to run this half marathon, but what does it look like for me in the next 6 months? And that's all I did until I got here. And just start thinking about it and just start doing it. And I would say a good thing to start doing is writing down, detailing the visualization for yourself. Detailing. Most people just get on social media and document it. It's a powerful way to keep you accountable, but some people can't do that, right? So just write it down for yourself. And then this is a powerful one. Surround yourself with support. Surround yourself with like minded people. Surround yourself with people that are interested in the same outcome. You'll be surprised how that is powerful by just thinking about the network of support that you have to get this done. Talk to them, share the idea with them, connect with mentors, connect with peers, connect with people in your community, join a community. It's a really powerful thing. Join an online community, join an in person community, go to the events, build that community of like minded people who are doing the same thing. If you're going to run a half marathon or a marathon, join a running group. If you want to build a side hustle, join a community of people that are building that. If you want to buy real estate, join a real estate event, all these things. It is a great, great way to hack your doubts by having these people that you're seeing doing the same thing and talking to them and their help guiding you. And I want to say this really, start small, take small steps. They're a brave one, but take small steps. Why does this work? Like I just mentioned earlier, it helps you build confidence along the way. See, if you can run, I used to do something when I'm running. I would just say, can I run under 10 minutes in 1 mile? That was a simple hack for me just to just do that. And my goal was just to get below 10 minutes in 1 mile. Now, for some people, that's like, oh, wow, gee, that's like good. But for me, that was just good enough. Now I can probably do 7, 6. So it's okay to just start small, set the goals, and then just push yourself to us. Because as you go along, you will find that, and by the way, joining the running community allowed me to get up to a half marathon. I mean, this is several years now, I don't know, 20, 25 years into doing half marathons. But it's really fundamentally powerful for you to think about how do you go through this process, right? Take starts. And you can literally, for example, if this is in your career, as opposed to just take a big thing and lead a meeting, just figure out how to speak up. I'll give you an example. So in my class, I'm talking to my students. I said, do you guys have any questions? But I started realizing that was a big thing for them to say, yes, they had questions. Because to them, by saying yes, they had questions, it was a sign that they were either failing or not preparing. And it just looks like they were ashamed of saying that they had questions. So I rephrased the questions, but I rephrased what I was saying by not asking if you have questions. I said, hey, let's talk about what are some of the things we can do. Where do you guys see where it could get? What do you guys see where we can go with this? And then they started posing questions to me. They didn't even realize they were posing questions to me, but they were. Students would say, well, professor, I understand this, but I don't really understand this and this. I said, oh, great. Let's go through that. So you have to even think about how are you going to show up in that meeting, as opposed to think that you're going to lead the meeting and this is so overwhelming for you. Just start by answering a simple question or just ask a question in the meeting, a very simple one, or just speak up in the meeting like you see something and said, oh, I think we could do it this way. You'll be surprised how that start helping you build that confidence. And a great thing to do, like I said, detailing, start journaling the question. Like I mentioned, people just do it on social media, right? Just publicly to be held accountable. I've seen so many people do that. Basically, you see people on Twitter. I think I remember this one guy. He literally just said, "This is what he's going to do," and we see it over and over and over, right? So you can do that, but most people can't do that. So if I would recommend not to do that, if this is what you're trying to get over these limiting beliefs, I would say just start small, basically, and just figuring out some ways and just put it there, right? Some people are just really great at just ripping the band-aid off and say, no what, I'm going to do this publicly. Great for them. But if that's not you, just journal it, keep it simple, get a book, write the details down, and reframe that failure as learning. I think the problem is that we look at it as failures because if you're doing something and you fail, you fail. Most people are just like, oh wow, I've been there. Like if you fail at this. But the minute I started learning how to reframe that failure as learning, and by the way, this is even very difficult for my students because if you get a F, that's a thing that's show up on your report card. You failed. So they can't even conceive the idea that they should see this as a learning. No, they're like petrified. I failed. So it is highly important that even in this structure, figure out a way like not to let this demoralize you. And for me, in in teaching sometimes, I try not to give a F because I don't see it as a constructive means. I might just give a C minus or a D plus so that the students can see some way out of this because they don't contribute that. Because again, the structure of school and how we think about school is this F, fail, fail, no way back, no way back. But a C minus said that you give it a really good effort, or D plus said you give it a good effort, and here are some learnings that can get you to B. So you kind of see a path to a B or an A from there, basically. And so you have to think about that. But for you, not in the school environment, see what you're doing as not as failure, but as learning. That just think it through. Okay, fine. This is what I learned from it. Every time you do it, it didn't go well. This is what I learned from it, basically, and then improve on that. So just think about this as you go through the process. I would say just reimagine, just to conclude, reimagine how you're thinking about it, reframe how you're thinking about it, and just take really small steps. Write down these challenges that you're going through, and you'll be surprised when you look back at these things. You'll see how you're making progress. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys like this video, please do me a favor, just hit the subscribe button, or if you can, I would love for you just hit the like button. This helps me promote more of the videos to my audience. You guys understand how this all works. Basically, Google has these algorithms. If you can, I would rather not do some of these things and ask for subscription and likes, but it helps me promote the videos to the right people. Don't need a million followers, just to the right people who basically wants to see this and learn from it. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon and have a great day. Talk to you guys. Bye.